Hello, my name's Andy, and I want to bring a message of hope in times of anxiety. These are difficult times. We've heard our Prime Minister say that some of our loved ones are going to die. We've seen the stats of how the virus has spread globally. We've seen pictures of planes grounded, and quite rightly, we have concerns about the health issues, about the economic impact, and people are asking, well, what does the future hold? Now, I don't want to be glib. I have one daughter working in a very busy hospital on a virus ward. I have another daughter who's pregnant. We have friends with serious health implications, and my father's in his 80s. So we know some of those concerns. But I think there's some things that we found very helpful coming out from this. The first is that life is precious, and we've seen and heard the messages that we want to protect life, and we want to particularly look out for the elderly and the vulnerable in our society. And that altruism has been good to see. Sometimes we've heard in our society people say that life is meaningless or that man is just a bit of slime on a planet. But we've come back to this realization that life is very precious and we need to look after it and protect it. That's the first thing. The second thing is we've had this message to self-isolate and to keep that social distancing. And I think that's been very good. It's almost like we've been given a time where we can reflect on life and the big issues of life. And instead of just running from one thing to another and filling our diaries, we're starting to reflect on the fact that actually life is more important than just having a bigger and better whatever. Life is more than just the abundance of things that we possess, but people matter. People matter more than things. And we can reflect on these things. The third thing is the number of people that have said how helpful this daily government briefing has been. I think it's the first time in my lifetime that I've known a government give us a daily briefing. And people are tuning into that, and because we want to know where we are in this situation. We want to know the guidelines that they're laying down for us and what we need to do so that we can work together to come through this situation. And that's been very helpful. The government have been issuing that. People have been looking at that, and we've got this message that we need to work together in this situation. Without that, probably people would go in different directions, wouldn't they? In one direction, there would be people in an absolute state of panic. In the opposite direction, there would be people who'd be saying, well, I'm all right, so it doesn't matter, let's just carry on as normal. But we've been through this briefing, we have been helped to work together towards a common goal. And that's been helpful. But I guess one of the questions we have that people are asking is this: where is God in all this? In this difficult time, where is God in this situation? Now, I think we have to be honest and we have to realize that, particularly in our part of the world, we have largely turned our backs on God. We've done life without Him. It's as though we've said, let's shove off. I'm just going to carry on in my own way. We've trampled His standards. Some have even rubbished His existence. We've ignored His commands. Now, I don't know if you've come across an author by the name of C.S. Lewis, but he wrote this: God whispers to us in our pleasures. He speaks to us in our conscience, but He shouts to us in our pain. It is God's megaphone to raise a deaf world. And I think God is lovingly speaking to us through this situation. He often uses circumstances to make us think about the most important things of life. And I think that's where we are now. And God is lovingly giving us this wake-up call. And he's reminding us that life is precious. He's given it to us. Our life and breath comes as a gift from him. And we are to reflect on the most important things. And God says that people matter. Whoever they are, however incapacitated they are or vulnerable they are, people matter. And God gives us tremendous guidance throughout the Bible for every situation in life. And it's good for us to look into those. And God tells us that even though we've turned our backs on him, he hasn't forgotten us. He hasn't forsaken us. He hasn't stopped loving us. And you'll know that the greatest demonstration of love ever is when Jesus lovingly went to the cross and entered into that suffering and that pain on our behalf, dying that we might find forgiveness and peace with God, peace with our fellow man, and peace in our own hearts. And 3 days after Jesus died very publicly on the cross, he came back to life, and when he appeared to his followers, he said, "Fear not, fear not." And that's a tremendous word for us, that through faith in Jesus, we can know God's peace in troubled times. And we can know that forgiveness that he offers. And we can know peace with our fellow man. We can know peace within ourselves. And I would encourage you to look at what God says about these things and to investigate them for yourself and to find God's hope and God's peace in these times of anxiety. Now, if I can be of any help to you, please, you contact me by email, or if you'd like me to send you something helpful to read, I would love to be able to do that for you.